Recent events have illustrated that anyone can be affected by a chemical attack or incident. In the use of Novichok agents in Salisbury, UK, many first responders were affected by the agent, in addition to the intended targets. And ultimately, the only fatality from the attack was an uninvolved civilian. The indiscriminate nature of chemical weapons makes them ideal weapons to terrorise populations, be that by militaries or terrorist organisations. Three main events can lead to exposure to chemical agents or other toxic chemicals. Chemical plant incidents. This is probably the most likely scenario. Significant disasters involving releases of toxic chemicals have been imprinted on our collective consciousness. In February 2023, it was reported that on average in the US, a chemical incident occurs every 2 days. While these events are generally accidental, it does not require a lot of imagination to realise the attraction of such plants to those wishing to do harm to a population with the toxic chemicals contained within. Weaponised chemical agents used by terrorists. In the last 5 decades, incidents of chemical weapon use by terrorists has steadily increased. While classical chemical agents such as blister agents, for example sulphur mustard, N-nerve agents, sarin and VX have been used where available, for example blind and abandoned munitions in Iraq or Syria, or self-manufacture, Orm Shinrikyo in Japan. The most often employed agents tend to be those which are most readily available from chemical plants or similar. The three most used chemicals in chemical terror are chlorine, tear gas and cyanide. Military action. Use of chemical weapons has been observed during the Syrian civil war, where thousands of largely civilian casualties were caused by a range of chemical weapons, including relatively technically advanced sarin munitions, but also improvised chlorine devices. Any toxic chemical compound used as a chemical weapon is a chemical weapon.
The intentional release of chemical weapons might lead to thousands of casualties, thereby overwhelming local health and medical resources. Timely antidotes and effective decontamination are key to successful medical countermeasures.